the I Like Wrestling podcast.
You see what I did there?
Are you gonna start?
Oh, yeah.
Are you real right now?
The greatest general manager.
Reviews and opinions expressed by Ted.
Jesus. I'll allow it.
That's peon moves.
Yep, I like wrestling.
Greetings, back to Parts Unknown. This is Sonny Sofrito, and I am joined by...
The greatest general manager in Yep, I Like Wrestling history.
And I'm also joined again by...
House of Glory co-owner Brian Excel.
And we're here for episode number 44.
44.
What?
44.
Yep, kicking the door, weaving the 4-4.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sonny.
All you said was, Papa, don't hit me no more.
Goodness. I do love your rock and roll music, Sonny. I really do.
You're the worst.
Gentlemen, shall we talk about Smackdown or lack thereof?
Actually, you know what? I have some fun stuff to talk about SmackDown, which is non-wrestling related, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
You will do anything to disagree with me, won't you, Sonny?
Yeah, basically.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Every single moment I get.
It's your cardio. What do you have to tell us? What do you have to tell us, Sonny, about SmackDown that you found so amazing?
So I found amazing the idea and concept where they did the Miz versus the R-Truth. They each have their own show.
Truth TV.
Exactly. Truth TV with Carmella.
Who has a totally new hairdo, and Sonny, I know I've given her a little bit of shit for the
haven't
last
you?
couple episodes, but you know what? I'll allow it. She looks nice for once.
Why are you trying to take my gimmick?
Oh no, I'm not.
You don't hear me saying the greatest
You do.
owner of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
I've heard rumors that you're going around doing impressions of me, and
Yeah, but that's to make fun of you behind
Japanese
your
tourists
back.
are paying you for it. I don't appreciate it, Sonny. But yeah,
Well, you know, hey, I gotta make a
Carmella looks good. She looks like Snooki, and I like it.
See, now you just ruined it
Wait,
for
hold
me.
on. What? We just went to Jersey Shore?
Well, she had this bleach blonde hair, but now she's dyed it dark hair, and she looks like Snooki. She has the Jersey Shore.
Snooki's not a good thing. Compare it to somebody else, anybody else, please.
Well, no, you know she's lost all that weight. She's skinny now, Snooki.
Yeah, she looks different now. She looks
Yeah,
pretty.
she looks decent now. So does Carmella, for once.
And
Unfortunately,
she's grown to like a woman. Like before, she was like a party girl.
she's a mommy now.
Yeah,
So
now she's
that's
a mom.
why.
She's a whole completely different person.
But yeah, it's a totally different image repackaging for Carmella, and I think it was time because we were all a bit sick of her as champion. And with
Honestly, I
that
don't know
hair.
who Carmella is, but
Well, call her up, Sonny. I can't do it on my phone. I have my phone blocked. I can't call up pictures of Carmella. It's blocked.
You can't call the pictures of any women.
I know. Sable is the only woman I call up on this phone.
Sable.
And Darren Young. Those are the only two women from WWE that I call up on my phone. But yeah, she looks good. She looks good. Unfortunately, she was sitting next to the oldest living Negro. That is R-Truth. So, yes.
R-Truth is still wrestling?
Yes.
Damn, yo,
Yes.
why is no love for R-Truth?
I forgot about him.
Him and Frederick Douglass went to high school together, and I'm just saying, Sonny, it's time. It's time.
Jesus, you and your
R-Truth.
Crispus Atticus
Is he over?
I don't know where it came from, but for the past couple of weeks,
wow.
he's been getting a bit of a push. Like, I don't know, Sonny. There was a time when there was no mention of him, and now he is, and the fans seem to be getting behind it. I
nice.
don't quite understand that.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
That's what they like, probably. You know, kids love stuff like that.
Yeah,
especially the
yeah.
hip-hop thing.
He's been asking what's up since Luthez was in the fucking ring, but I don't understand it. But yeah, him and Carmella have found a thing, and you know what? I'm here for it. I just like things new. Give me some evolution.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's a shitty pay-per-view coming up in a few weeks. But yeah,
Jesus Christ.
The views and opinions expressed by Teddy are his and do not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
I can't do nothing on this podcast. So yeah, Truth TV versus Miz TV, and then Miz took on R-Truth.
So,
I don't know.
the thought that I had was like, imagine if we were to get like matches between like actual TV hosts and like, what would the fantasy booking for that should be? Like, yo, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Wendy Williams in the ring with Rachel Ray or some shit.
Oh, my goodness. Rachel Wade versus Wendy Williams. How you doing? Yes, I love it. Book it, Roger. We could get Ellen versus Rosie O'Donnell.
Wow.
I have to represent my LGBTQ ABC community. I don't know about you.
I'm at the wrong I'm not even supposed to be listening to this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Sorry about Teddy, man.
What did I do?
The same shit you do every freaking week.
Meanwhile, this podcast is an instant success. I'm not saying it's because of me, but I'm kind of saying it's because of me, Sonny.
Back to Smackdown.
You got this one, disagree with me. Okay, here's my thing. Paige, I am begging her to wear a different outfit. She's worn the exact same outfit for the past 13 bloody weeks. It's black leather jacket with black 1987 Jordache jeans with the zipper that go all the way up to her chest. I'm tired of it. It's the exact same outfit.
You talking about the Fordham Road special?
Oh my god, 1987 Fordham Road special. Like, her zipper goes from her vagina to her chest. The zipper goes on forever. And then she wears the stilettos. It goes on forever. Like, you don't have another outfit? So it's like, I've only seen this woman in two things. Naked and with a black leather jacket on. Like, those are the only two things I've ever seen Paige in. It's time.
You know what? I have no words for you right now.
It's time.
Now let's just move on. Then we had Sheamus defeating Big E, and during that exchange, they did the Say Something Nice challenge.
Yes.
Teddy, can I have you say something nice about anybody?
New podcast. Who dis? I can't do this, Sonny. I don't know how to say anything nice about anyone.
Jesus, yeah.
You won't let me talk about Ricochet. I've said lots of nice things to him, but
Yeah, and I got you a restraining order.
he's asked me to stop.
Repeatedly.
But asking is not the same as telling. So there you go. I have a very special announcement.
Okay.
Speaking of Big E,
Uh-huh.
Kofi Kingston has just become the longest reigning tag team champion. All of his consecutive days combined, it's over 933, I believe. He is now the longest running tag team champion in history. So shout out to Kofi Kingston, Mr. Royal Rumble. We never hear anything bad about him, Sonny. No problems backstage.
No.
He doesn't make any sex videos. He shows up. He does his thing.
I mean, he's treated as a veteran.
Yeah.
So-
So yeah, shout out to him, Mr. Longest running tag team champ. So good for him.
On a side note, CM Punk responded to his tweet because he sent out a tweet, tagging all his past tag team partners.
Oh.
And CM Punk actually responded.
Did he?
Yeah.
What did CJ Punk have?
He just did like a funny gif that he's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, thanks, yeah, whatever.
He's really in a position to turn down free publicity.
with a smiley face, yeah. So that was the thing, but congratulations to Kofi. Moving on to another, no longer tag team.
Oh,
Aiden English and Rusev.
Brian, happy Rusev Day.
Who? No, I'm
Nice to
joking.
meet you, Brian. My name is Teddy. This is Sonny. Thank you for joining us on this
Hey, how you
podcast.
doing?
Like, I feel he fell asleep over here, Sonny. My roofie worked. He fell asleep over here.
You didn't realize that water tastes a little different, right?
Don't worry, you'll be fine. Shout out to Bill Cosby. Aiden English confronted Rusev and Lana. And you know what, Sonny? He was spitting some truth.
Yeah.
He was saying, you and I were fine until something came along and changed that, and that something is standing next to you. Lana, yeah. Rusev and Aiden were a big hit. Don't ask me how. It came out of nowhere.
Well, they blew up that whole Rusev Day
They
thing.
did. And then all of a sudden they added Lana, and then it started to stale.
And yeah, I mean, they should. I feel like they added Lana to elevate all of them, and it just kind of backfired.
But the crown jewel of that promo, the literal mic drop, was when Aiden, I don't know, maybe accused Lana of doing something inappropriate when he said, "Oh, so did you tell Rusev about Milwaukee?"
And who does anything in Milwaukee to regret?
So I wonder where this is going.
You know, they were talking about the whole promo that The Rock did.
But I kind of remember, wasn't that in Brooklyn? I remember The Rock in Brooklyn saying him
he
and
did.
Lana.
But that he gave her the Milwaukee wheelbarrow.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So we'll see. Maybe they'll use something from that. But I doubt they're gonna bring Rock back for that.
Either way, I wanted to call Lana, be like,
But then after that, we had Asuka and Naomi taking on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, which I don't know. I feel like they're trying to gear up for that whole women's tag team championship division that possibly might come about in Evolution.
Brian, how are the ladies treated in House of Glory? Are they divas or are they competitors?
Nah, they're competitors. There's some great females and respectful, and we respect them. And they come to train and become want to become wrestlers, and we giving them the platform to do that.
Now, can I ask you a question? Because Sonny will disagree with anything. As soon as I say something, he'll disagree and disclaim me.
Okay.
One day I told him the car was waiting. He gave me a disclaimer. He's drunk half the time. Don't listen to him. Let me ask you. You're a straight man, correct?
Absolutely.
I got that vibe from you. I really did. I got that. So, which do you prefer? A diva, a very pretty woman who can't really wrestle, but she looks good. Let's say a Sable, a Sonny, or a Mandy Rose.
Okay.
Or would you rather a competitor, say a Shayna Baszler, Ruby Riott, Ronda Rousey?
All right, what are we talking here? Like as a fan watching wrestling?
Yes, as a fan watching wrestling. Which would you rather?
Oh, that's a good
something
question.
Pretty soft or something like Shayna Baszler?
Jesus.
I think that's a good question. Honestly, I don't.
Sonny, call up Shayna Baszler because my phone doesn't display images like that.
That's
So
crazy.
let him see who this person
No, I think
is.
look wise, I'm good. Like, I don't even matter to me. I'm married, so for me, it's more of just wrestling. You know what
So
I'm saying?
what do you like to look at? Do you like to see women actually putting on matches, or do you like a bit of eye candy?
I honestly don't watch women's wrestling.
At all?
Probably just my students. I just told you guys I don't watch WWE, so where would I see women's wrestling?
Oh.
So it's just like mostly is oh yeah, she's dope. Yeah, who's that?
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, she's dope. She her and Ronda
Brian,
Rousey.
you're so funny. She's dope. He's funny, Sonny. I like him. Keep him around. She's dope. He's funny.
She just reminds me of like a UFC fighter.
Oh yeah, what didn't she do UFC?
I think she does have a UFC background.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
she
So
did.
I think she
that's-
defeated Brock Lesnar in 30
that's- for
seconds.
me,
if
that's
I'm not
dope.
mistaken.
I like watching UFC, so Ronda Rousey obviously is probably
Yeah.
the best wrestler female going on right now.
Oh yeah, without question.
You know what I mean? So and it's
when you get a
crazy.
chance, please check out some of her matches.
Who's that?
Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
Because she's been doing some arm flips that look really brutal.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like.
You think that the females are getting hurt?
Not so much that they're getting hurt, but I feel like someone's gonna get hurt eventually.
Okay.
Because it just looks like there's like
It's a snap to it.
yeah.
I think that she's been doing it for so long that if anybody could get away with it and not hurt somebody, will be Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because she's been wrestling. Like, she's like a real wrestler,
Yeah.
fighter, UFC. You know what I mean? So I think she's. It's crazy because when she first lost, I was telling Red, I said the best thing for her to do is to go to WWE, get signed, become the women's champion for like 2 years, and then when she loses, just leave.
Okay.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
you're
Like,
the one who wished that curse on us.
No,
because she's our women's champion right now.
how can you beat Ronda Rousey? How can you beat her? Like, come on, think about it. Obviously, it's wrestling and it's fake, right? But if they want to make it, interesting, I think they should just leave the title on her for a long time, and it will mean something. So when somebody does beat her, it will mean something.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I can see that kind of like the way they did it with Brock.
With Brock?
With Brock Lesnar. Because they left the title with Brock Lesnar for damn near like a year and change.
But he used to not wrestle. I heard that he just never showed up when they had to give him a couple of dates, and
Like he would show up, do his thing, and
I
then
think. But Ronda's wrestling though.
no, Ronda's wrestling
All the time.
But I mean, she just got into WWE, so it's kind of.
Or is she wrestling all the time though?
Lately, yeah, actually, she has been almost every week. Yeah,
I think
They're
that
protecting
Brock-
her. She's
Yeah.
not putting on
for sure. Yeah, no,
more
they
matches.
definitely is. Yeah.
But they did put the belt on her.
Is she wrestling more than Brock did?
Oh,
Yes.
right now, yeah.
All right, so I'm saying that
Not like when Brock first started, because when Brock first started, Brock was there every week.
because he was not in UFC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was a WWE guy.
Yeah.
So I think that, if Brock would have came in and been wrestling more as the WWE champion, when he lost that title, would definitely have meant more than what it meant that he lost this time. Because he would have been wrestling and wrestling and wrestling. He would have been he's a beast.
Yeah.
So by Ronda wrestling, when she loses that title, it's gonna mean something. But me knowing WWE, she's not gonna have the title for long, and then. But I heard that they're trying to move her towards like the way Stone Cold was, a female version though.
Stephanie
And I haven't
wants
seen
to
it.
remake the Austin versus McMahon chemistry. with her
Okay, yeah,
and
that's
Ronda.
what I heard. Somebody told me that.
Yeah.
I think one of my students mentioned that.
I
So
had no
I think
idea
that makes
Stephanie
sense.
had a crack problem, but you never know. You never know people. You don't know people. Sonny.
I'm definitely. I think she's doing a great job. I think Triple H is doing a terrific job. I'm a fan of his. Like for what he did for the Indies.
Yeah.
It's 50-50. Like he's giving opportunity to all the guys, all the boys in the locker room. Like, there's a lot of guys that wouldn't have had this opportunity before that are getting the opportunity because of the NXT situation, plus the 205 thing, right? So it's just like,
question.
Shout out to 205.
They're giving all the opportunities to the boys. A lot of guys have jobs and they don't have, they're doing it full time, and it's a blessing, right? So, but the other thing is that they sucking the indies dry. You know what I mean? So there's no a lot of anybody that makes a little bit of noise in wrestling, they snatching them up and they leaving the indies dry. You know what I mean? So guys like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes and Marty Scurll, and these guys, for me, in my opinion, they're not gonna sign. They're not going to WWE.
Yeah.
And they're gonna continue doing what they're doing, and they're gonna definitely change the game. You know what I mean? And because they're not gonna go. I don't think that they're gonna go to WWE.
I definitely agree with you.
They're gonna open a lot of opportunities for a lot of the guys. You know what I'm saying? Because WWE's, they got the mentality of we could do whatever we want, even though it's WWE, they could do whatever they want. I respect them. You know what I'm saying? And but for me, I feel like they basically cornering the market, like the way Vince was doing when he first started, how he came and
took up all the territories.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I see Triple H doing that little by little. You know what I mean? Like, he's taking out all the indies. And then somebody had told me that they trying to open up performance centers in all the big cities. That's when you're definitely going to corner the market. There's going to be no wrestling schools. Everybody's going to want to be a part of that because it's WWE. Yeah. So I think that what the Young Bucks and what these guys is ready to do, that's going to change.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that WWE has in mind, that All In, if they continue doing that, that's going to change wrestling forever.
Well, I mean, they were already trying to do something like what you just said, we're opening performance centers all over, which is why they bought into Tap Out.
Yeah.
And Tap Out bought all those Bally's gyms. Because, not too far from where we're at, there was a Bally's on 31st Street, right by, not too far from like where Legends is. I mean, we're in parts unknown, but in that time, on that block, there's a Tap Out gym, which originally was a Bally's. So the story I had heard, because I had people that I knew that worked in the company, Tap Out Gyms was originally going to be a cooperative venture between UFC and WWE. They were both going to equally buy all those gyms, and then it was going to be a UFC and WWE training facility, and then UFC supposedly backed out. But WWE is still in bed with Tap Out, and they're still doing the stuff with Tap Out.
Very much so.
But it looks like they're actually scaling back from doing what they originally planned to do, was to make, at the very least, a performance center that they could do more stuff. Because they were going to have WWE talent hosting classes on a regular basis.
Yeah, but that's not, for me, that's not good for wrestling.
No,
I think that
it's overexposure, right?
And it's just like, that means that they could pay anybody whatever they want, because where you gonna go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like there's nothing. When it was WCW and ECW, you could go other places to get signed. So if WWE comes and does stuff like that, it's just there's really nowhere to go. Like,
that's
the
bad part about
that's the bad part.
Being so big.
Yes.
There is no competition.
Exactly.
And the only way something gets better is if there is competition.
You're right.
Because if you're the only one who could do it, like our guest host says, well, I can do whatever I want. And even if it's a shitty product, like, what are you going to do? Back in the day with WCW, Vince had to really put his nose to the grind because he needed to survive.
Of course.
Competition breeds better shows.
Exactly.
And without that, you don't have. So that's the sad part about WWE being so big now.
And it's not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but what happens is, like, the fans are gonna sooner or later get it worse. Because if they do stuff like that and it's like, where you gonna go? Now the fans is like, now we definitely gonna do whatever we want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We done took everything. All the wrestlers have no choice but try to get to WWE. You know what I mean? Unless they go to Ring of Honor or something, but sometimes they don't pay as much, right?
That's the Holy Grail.
So
I mean,
it's
there
just
is no TV.
There's nothing.
There's no TV.
It's just gonna be WWE.
Yeah.
But I think that, guys like the Young Bucks and stuff like that, these kids got a good head on their shoulders, and Cody Rhodes, and I honestly believe that these kids are gonna change. These guys are gonna change the game.
What's so funny? And I had said this on a previous episode. I feel like, All In was a great show.
30 minutes sold out.
Exactly.
Unheard of.
But what was more impressive to me was the surrounding events they had around it, which was StarCast. Because they basically did a Comic-Con for wrestling. And, they had panels. And they had signings, the events, typical stuff. But the panels was something that they even streamed live that you had to pay on Fight TV in order to view, which was a great business model to have.
Guys is so smart.
Yeah.
The first thing was sell out the arena first.
Exactly.
And then add everything around it.
Yeah, and it was a great move. The thing that I find interesting and commend them for is that you didn't hear horror stories that came out of fan interaction.
I agree.
We heard some people was able to sneak into this or that. That shit happens.
Yeah, you can't do nothing about that.
Yeah, I mean it happens. I mean, even Comic-Con, which is coming up in 2 weeks in New York, they're not run perfectly. But to have that, you don't hear any horror stories from your first event. You know what? Them dudes, you deserve so much props for making that shit run.
For me, and this is the honest truth, right? I'm a man of faith. I believe in God strongly. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. But that's my God. I believe He got me to this place. He opened up House of Glory, and He put me in a position. To be here. And the Young Bucks are Christian kids, right? The kids, I knew them for so many years, and they real humble. Right, and these are all blessings from God. I really strongly believe that, and I talk to them all the time. And I told them this years ago, before they made it as far as they did when they were the House of Glory Tag Team Champions. I used to always be with them, and I used to always look at their social media, and I'm like, it's crazy that you guys do all this crazy stuff, all these moves. You guys never get hurt. You know what I'm saying? I said, you do crazy stuff, bro. I'm like, I'm a fan of wrestling, and I watch what you guys do. You know what I mean? You guys do some crazy stuff, and I honestly believe that, the presence of God is around you guys. The Holy Spirit is around you guys, and not letting you guys get hurt. You guys is family. Everything they post is about their family. You know what I'm saying? Those guys is really good kids, man. And they blessed, and they're gonna continue to be blessed. And God has something in store for them. That's why they don't have to go to WWE. They put in so much work. That's why they could sell out arena, and Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega could sell out arena in 30 minutes because all the hard work they did.
Yeah.
And WWE is gonna be upset when they don't sign. They're gonna be like, everybody wants to come to WWE. Why you not coming? Nah, we're not coming. And they're not gonna go.
That just goes to show you the biggest is not always the best.
Exactly.
Very true.
Yeah,
So good luck to all you other podcasts out there. But going back to SmackDown, Asuka and Naomi took on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Sonny, never let Naomi do her Feel the Glow dance and follow it by Asuka's dance. It was just too much for me. I had a seizure. I was on the floor twitching for 20 minutes. It was not good. So I don't want that to happen again. Yes.
You know what? I don't even have any words for that.
Every time he talks, I'm gonna just take the plugs out my ear. So I don't have to hear him.
That would probably be safer.
So you know what? I feel like every time that you're gonna talk, I'm gonna tell Brian earmuffs.
Yeah. I can't hear this. I was not prepared for this. I thought this was a regular podcast.
It is a regular podcast.
Oh no. Yeah, we.
It's not regular.
And I'm actually on my best behavior today because I was warned about you. So you can imagine when it's just Sonny Tara and I, what goes on in here.
Thank you.
Why were the Iconics holding hands the entire interview, Sonny?
Because that's what they do.
Weird.
The Iconics are these wrestlers that came from Australia, female wrestlers. They were in NXT, and now they came up, and they're like those two annoying girls that you would see like in elementary or high school that always holding hands.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
By their pinkies and running around. They're like mean girls. Like
I got you.
Like mean girls.
Yeah,
Do you know who Michelle McCool is?
Your fan base is probably gonna be like, this guy doesn't know no one. Get him off the show. This guy doesn't know nobody you guys are mentioning.
So here's the thing. Brian gets a pass because Brian does more for wrestling than people that actually just purely watch wrestling, because a lot of the talent that come through his doors are people that you either have seen or you are about to see at some point because they're on the come up. So it's like, if you're questioning why he doesn't know, it's because it's kind of hard for the chef to be in the restaurant eating when he's in the back cooking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm more worried about my own product. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, but the thing is that you're in the back cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
To put out those dishes that, at some point may want to go to the bigger stage or go into a different stage,
Yeah.
Because WWE isn't the only stage.
Of course not. And sooner or later, you guys are gonna, House of Glory is gonna definitely be something that's gonna be real big in this wrestling industry.
Oh, without question.
I feel like all the indie companies are fighting for the same fans. Every wrestling company is fighting for the same fans. There's nothing different. It's like companies have to do this. Oh, we're gonna have this dream match. We're gonna have this. Come watch us. Or everybody's fighting for the same fans. So it's just like when you got to think out the box, and we're about to make a move to think out the box. That's gonna take us to a different level.
That's the thing.
Watch, and you got
WWE does not often think outside the box.
Most wrestling companies don't.
But when you do, that's when you get that magic. So do you have
absolutely.
2 female wrestlers in House of Glory that are kind of, they're heels, they're annoying, they're bad girls, what would their names be?
One is Violet. She's like,
She's your mean girl?
Yeah, they throw stuff in her. They don't
who's the other
like her. The other one I have is Sonya Strong, but she's a face.
Yeah.
Like the kids love her.
Yeah, Sonya's
like
good.
She's the
Violet
biggest.
and
I've known Sonya for a while.
Our
She's
version
good. She's
of
good.
the Iconics. Or many years ago, Michelle McCool and Laycool did. Michelle McCool and Layla were in Laycool. If you still were watching then, further back, Jackie and Terry as PMS. Were you watching back in the Attitude Era?
Of course.
Okay, so that thing, that 2 women faction who just sort of. That's what our new Iconics. That's what they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were at ringside doing commentary. Yes, I went to the bathroom, slammed my hand in a door, because there is nothing worse than listening to the Iconics speak. But moving on, Ty Dillinger defeated Shinsuke Nakamura.
Legend.
You like Shinsuke?
Absolutely, he's a legend.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
In Japan, he was do great. I don't know how he's doing in WWE.
It's you know what? It's a thing.
He's such a
where
legend in Japan.
I'll bring up a basketball analogy. You ever see that player that was killing it on their rookie contract? And on their second contract,
that long contract,
and it was like it was dope. And and then they get
chilling.
Exactly. They get signed to that. They get traded.
I don't have to do a lot. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I got guaranteed money.
It kind of feels a little bit like that.
But
that guaranteed money.
But you know what? But that's what fans think. But that's what WWE does to you. You have to slow down. If you watch AJ Styles matches, I don't know how it's definitely not the way he was doing in the Indies.
Oh no.
He left TNA, became the New Japan champion, and he was killing it in Japan. And it's just like, WWE is basically like a retirement home for the people that wrestle like that.
I mean, his matches are still good. I still like AJ Styles matches. I just feel
but
like
they're not the way they was when he was in the Indies in Japan. Of course not. It's a whole different thing.
Now his wife is being stolen from him. It's nowhere near what he used to do in Japan.
Oh yeah. That's another thing.
Yes. Samoa Joe is fucking his wife. You don't watch
Oh, nah. He's not.
Yo, wait, hold on. Let me take this earplug.
As if I'm making
Hold
this
on,
up,
listen
Sonny.
to me. Let me take this earplug. Hold on.
He was outside.
Hold on. I'm so confused.
Yo, my nigga, Sonny, jump in here. Yo, my nigga, keep this shit 100, yo. Keep this shit 100, son. I'm trying to say, he was outside our house, yo.
Yo, he's not fucking his wife.
Yo, listen
Sonny,
to me.
you're in
Hold
denial.
on. Wait, hold on.
And your blood pressure's through the roof.
Hold on.
Wait, what do you mean? My blood pressure. My blood pressure.
It's through the roof. You're in denial and
I'm
your
so
blood pressure's
confused
high.
right now.
So
hold on.
Joe is going after AJ Styles. We're going to get to it because that's how the show ended.
Okay.
He wants to bed, if he hasn't already, AJ Styles'
Wait,
wife.
hold on. Wait.
Shout out to Wendy. So she's winning either way. She either gets AJ or a brand new husband. That's what I say to winning.
Shout out to my boy Samoa Joe, man. That's my brother.
He's cold dead. He's cold and dead
too,
inside.
man. God bless you, AJ. AJ's doing his thing, man.
All right.
AJ's a good dude, bro.
All right, so let me give you the recap. What's going on with AJ is that Samoa is going after AJ's wife, Wendy.
WWE.
So, dude, he showed up at AJ's house while they were supposed to do a contract signing. And he's like, I guess he's outside like, Wendy!
He was outside the Styles residence.
You guys still want to watch WWE after this?
It's like heroin. I want to stop. I can't. I have a problem.
All right, listen to me. This is what you guys need to do. You guys need to go on Instagram, right? Or Facebook, or just go on the website, or go on the YouTube and look House of Glory Wrestling. That should be your new drug. Get away from WWE and start following House of Glory.
To be exact, it's HOG Wrestling.
.net.
.net.
And then on Twitter and Instagram is HOG Wrestling.
I'm going to do it right now that you're sitting here.
Thank you.
I'm going to type in
House of
So,
Glory
how
Wrestling.
was your story any different from my story, Sonny? You literally told me the same story. That is such a racist thing. Don't believe the black guy, but believe the lighter skinned guy. You told the same story. He
It's
was
Puerto
outside his
Rican.
house.
It's Puerto
We
Rican.
got 2 Puerto Ricans in the table.
Oh yeah,
okay?
dude, you didn't know I was Boricua? Ah.
Meanwhile,
What part are you from?
Nah, dude, I'm straight up from the island of Manhattan, bro. I'm a New Yorican, like third generation.
We both are, but what country? Where in Puerto Rico your family is from?
Dude, they don't even remember. Because my mom was born here, my grandmother was born here.
Wait, so you're telling me you haven't go and find out where your peoples come from? Puerto Rico?
My father was from Dorado.
Dorado.
Yeah, he was from his family was from Dorado, but he came to New York when he was like 16.
That's cool. You
And-
just gotta remember, make sure you know where you're coming from.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
you know
but
what I
like I'm on my my mom's side, my great grandparents got together. I think they were. One of them was in Bayamon, but when they got together,
That's where I'm from.
My great,
Bayamon.
Oh, okay.
Daraba.
I have no family out there. My great grandfather was a black Puerto Rican. My great grandmother her family was straight from Spain. When they got together, they got disowned, and then they came to New York. It's crazy because it's like when people ask me what's my island, I'm like, yo, Manhattan, because I really didn't know. I don't really have family out there.
That doesn't matter. You're still in Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah, no, I still rock the flag. I'm still proud.
I was born and raised. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, but you know I'm Puerto Rican. You know, my family's over there. Half of my family still live out there, and that's where I'm from.
It's weird because I've gone out there, but I feel like such a tourist, bro.
We all do. We was raised in the hood. Like we raised.
But
in
you
New
have
York.
families to kind of like take you
I
around.
used to go every summer.
Yeah.
When I was as a kid. You know what I mean? Puerto Rico is reckless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't
out
want to
there.
say anything, but 2 Puerto Ricans, and I haven't seen my wallet for hours. I'm not putting those 2 together.
Oh, this is yours? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying I can't pay for my salad, Sonny, because I can't find my wallet. That's all
I'm sorry. I didn't know this was your wallet.
I typed in hog wrestling, and then Nikki Bella came up. So I don't know what that's about. I put in hog, first picture, Nikki Bella. I don't know what that means, but I typed it. I followed it.
You have to add wrestling after.
Oh, I just put in hog, and then Nikki Bella came up. My bad.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I wasn't listening, Sonny.
HOG wrestling.
If you're done whitewashing the Wendy AJ Styles story, like I told it the first time, the real story, doubling back, Becky Lynch took on Lana. That happened, but what really happened was backstage where she attacked the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
So I kind of wish that Becky Lynch had like a red pump in her hand, so we could just call them the white Cardi B and Nicki Minaj.
Oh, shout out to Cardi B.
Because like
Bodak yellow. These is bloody shoes. Yeah, that's all I know, Sonny. That's the only verse I know. That's all I know of that song, Sonny. That's all I do. And Nicki Minaj, I know nothing.
right.
She has an ass like a donkey. That's all I know about Nicki Minaj. Well, yeah, Charlotte was doing a photo shoot. Becky beat her up, and the part that pissed me off, the photographer kept shooting. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. I didn't even find that shit funny, so this nigga go stand here and keep clicking his shit. You see how people do you?
I'll allow it.
That was a fucking... I know he ain't still taking picture, like... Yo!
I would.
No respect for the Flair family whatsoever.
By the way, just so you know how major House of Glory is, they had Ric Flair right after he came out the hospital.
His first appearance.
The
First appearance.
Greatest.
It's crazy because I was trying to book him for our show, I think in August or October actually, and then he ended up in the hospital. So we had to wait.
wow.
So we had to wait till he got out. Then he changed agents, so we had to go through a different agent. But it all worked out, man. Like,
Yeah, I saw the video where he was
man.
like putting you over, dude.
Yeah, no, Ric Flair is a super legend.
Anything
super,
Flair does is
yo,
great, yeah.
oh, yo, no, it's crazy. I just gained so much respect for him. You know, we was driving around and he was just telling me so much stories. But like Bret Hart, when we had Bret Hart, he was also telling me stories. It's like these guys, I guess they used to just telling, because I would just sit there and they'd just go on and telling stories of wrestling when I was watching wrestling. Those are things that I'm interested in. You know what I'm saying? So he was just saying so much things that I was just like, this is
Well,
amazing.
back in the day
man.
when they were traveling, they didn't have mobile phones, so that's how they passed the time by
Yeah.
telling stories to
It's-
each
yeah,
other. So I guess the
yeah,
older wrestlers,
yep.
that's still what they do.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I agree.
But to be able to sit with Flair, oh my God, I've met him twice, and again, besides Noel Foley, Flair, I was starstruck. like barely couldn't speak. So yeah, so that sitting with him must be
Okay.
awesome.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounded awesome. Yeah, Kervin was able to make it out to that, and he had the only Kool-Aid smile.
Yeah, Ric Flair, man. Ric Flair is such a legend, man. He's
course.
so cool, man. We was talking about hip hop. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you know, right after like
He did that thing with Bad Bunny. Yeah.
So that was right after he did that with Bad Bunny. And the crazy part is that the person that directed that is my boy.
Oh,
Spliff.
get out.
Yeah, Spliff is my boy. So that was it was perfect. It made him feel more comfortable. When I'm sitting there, I'm like,
that's
yo,
dope.
hip hop, and we start talking. I was like, yeah, Spliff. He's like, Spliff, how you know? I said, that's my boy. Like, I'll be talking to him all the time. And then from there, it was just our conversations was
That's dope.
it was crazy. Yeah.
Congratulations to Mr. Flair on his 5th wedding to Jackie, I believe her name.
Yeah, I just seen
yeah.
that the other day, man.
Yes.
That was super dope, man.
Congratulations, Mr. Flair. I hope this one works out. So yes.
Yeah, I think it would. He's like.
Well, she's
extremely
been
low.
with him.
Yeah, she's extremely low.
She was
He's
Fifi
extremely
in
low.
WCW.
Yeah, she's been with him since, for a while, all throughout this whole thing that went on.
I hope they do work out. But just in case you're listening, Jackie, you pay all the bills, okay? You do that. Shout out to the Flairs.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So,
So you mentioned ECW a few times.
Yes.
So was that the reason you got into this business? Like you saw something in ECW and you said, you know what, I want to do something like that. Was that your?
It's kind
catalyst?
of that's a good question. No, it's
All my
it's
questions
crazy.
are good.
It's crazy that when ECW came out, like I said, I started watching ECW. But at the same time, we used to wrestle in the backyard. Like, you know me, I had a couple of my friends that we used to drive around the hood, and you know, in the hood there's mattresses all over the place.
Oh,
Yeah.
shout out to Newark.
Yo, so we used to go in
and the Bronx.
and everywhere,
and Harlem.
especially yeah. So we used to go around Brooklyn and look for mattresses, and then we used to bring it to my boy's backyard and get the camcorder and just wrestle, and then copy ECW stuff and stuff like that. And then we started ECW was throwing shows in the Elks Lodge
Yeah,
in Queens Boulevard. Yeah, and it's crazy. I was such a fan that and it was unnecessary. They used to have people come in at 6 p.m. and me and my boys just be outside at 9 in the morning.
Wow.
Just online for no reason. Like super fans. I'm talking about like we used to be on the line and eat breakfast there, go to McDonald's and stuff like that. One of us would go and get the breakfast and we used to just stand on the line, and the people that used to go there early in the morning, all we used to do is talk about wrestling for hours.
The funny thing that you're saying that is that you've had a couple of shows that I don't know if you were aware of this, but I know some of the dudes that were at your shows at 9 in the morning waiting for
crazy.
your show to open up.
It's crazy because and that's a blessing.
And that's a full circle, yeah.
I give all the glory to Christ. The last show we just had, there was somebody at the door like waiting like at 3 o'clock, and I'm like, we letting people in like at 7, right? They're like, oh, I didn't have nothing to do. I said it's crazy because I used to be next door. It was in Elks Lodge. I'm like, I used to be next door in the ECW, and I used to be standing outside at 9 in the morning. When you're a fan of something like that, it's just something incredible. You know what I mean? So we do it. We do it for the fans too. Like the fans play a big part of everything that's happening. You know what I mean? And as long as they go home happy, you know what I mean, I feel like we did our job. You know what I'm saying? It's about the fans, and I feel like honestly that God has a plan for House of Glory. You know what I mean? And and like you were saying before about the wrestling. So what happened was my story, to make it a long story short, so we used to wrestle in the yard, and then one day somebody told us that there was a wrestling ring in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, in a like abandoned church. So when we went there was actually a ring there, and that was like,
oh my,
yeah. So when I seen the ring, and we used to pay this old Spanish Puerto Rican guy, his name was Pedro. We used to give him like $30, and he let us do whatever we wanted. So we used to just record ourselves and have like a little fed in there, and and then doors opened, and we end up meeting Mikey Whipwreck in Long Island.
Okay.
Shout out to Mikey Whipwreck.
The legend. And we met Mikey Whipwreck. He trained us, and then from there it was history. You know what I'm saying? We started wrestling, and I never did it. Like, I love wrestling, I was a fan of wrestling since I was 4. I've been watching wrestling since I was 4. My mother said I was like a hyper kid. You know what I mean? When I was in school, I used to be a big bully. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I couldn't stay still. Like, I used to always have to be moving around and doing stuff and make it all about me. You know what I mean? And, I regret that, you know what I mean? Because I don't like bullies. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, when I was young, I was just dumb. You know what I mean? Being a kid. And so I love wrestling, but I never... I wanted to be a wrestler, you know what I mean? But when I got older, I didn't care about being a wrestler. But my friends that I was with, love and wanted to be wrestlers. So I went and trained with them and started wrestling in different companies and wrestling, but that was not my passion. Like, I was in the streets, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was from Brooklyn. I was really out there, like, hustling and doing crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I was doing that because I was with them, but I was really into the streets. So I used to do back and forth. I had 2 different lives, right? So what happened was I stopped wrestling, I slowed down, and then they used to come where I was at to look for me and be on some, I talk about wrestling. And then I got the guys here looking at me like I'm some street, like, you know what I mean? My brother's like a monster in these streets, and they look at us like we, you know what I mean? It's different. And you come and talk about wrestling. I just want to be in a situation that they like, you a wrestler? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's almost like everybody's gonna see both sides of my life.
Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and that was embarrassing wrestling. I just didn't want to sit there and explain how I'm a wrestler or what I was doing, how I became a wrestler and stuff like that.
But also, it's like, the whole idea behind Yep, I Like Wrestling was, nobody was really showing off their wrestling fan card.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
That's true.
The whole idea when the whole concept behind Yep, I Like Wrestling was you ask somebody back in the day, hey, are you a wrestling fan? And they'll be like, real low key, yep,
you're right,
I like wrestling.
You're right.
So you know what, the way to flip it is you flip a moment of weakness into a battle cry. So now it's, yep, I like wrestling.
Yep.
So that's why it's like, I totally get what you're saying, because when you're on the come up and you're trying to kick it to some girls and you're hanging out with your boys that don't watch wrestling, you kind of keep the wrestling.
You think that they don't watch wrestling. Because everybody's low key with it. It was like that for a long time. It's crazy.
Dude, I had so many friends that I have friends today that I'm still finding out that they're low key, and it's not even just with wrestling, just low key geeks on other shit. Because I have one of my best
video games. There's all kinds of stuff that you'll be finding out. I agree.
Yeah, one of my best friends, I didn't realize until like 5 years ago that he was a comic book geek. And we've known each other since like 99.
Wow.
or 97 actually. And he was like, hey, I'm going to Comic-Con. I'm like, I didn't know you go to Comic-Con. He was like, yeah, I collect. He was like, oh yeah, okay. I freaking meet up with him, and I'm like, yo, you don't collect, dude. You're a nerd like me.
Yeah, exactly.
like he's getting like, yo, let me get
I really know you now.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's like, yo, let me get the variant that came out from last week by this dude that came out, and there's only a limited run of 100 copies. I'm like, I never knew that shit existed.
yeah, man. So that's how it was in wrestling, and what happened was I was wrestling and stuff like that, and I don't know if you guys ever heard of XPW.
That was another smaller organization, right?
They was like the takeover after ECW was gone. There was like another hardcore company in LA that was doing crazy stuff. New Jack from ECW, New Jack went over there. Shane Douglas went over there. Sandman went over there.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I didn't know what the name was. Because the thing is that I dipped in and out of wrestling over the years myself. As a fan, just sometimes I get into it, then you kind of like dip out, and then
they was not around for too long, but they was doing pay-per-views.
Okay.
And a door opened for me to be able to go do like a tryout, right?
Okay.
So talking about R-Truth was there.
Mr. Ron Killings.
I took his position.
Oh, no way.
I think that he no-showed them or something. He did something. I think he left to WWE. It was something that happened that they needed somebody to take his position. He was doing like some Black Panther kind of gimmick, right?
He broke a hip. That's why he didn't show up. That's right. Sorry.
So it actually worked out. I went. I took his position, and we wrestled the champions over there. And after my match, they wanted to give me a contract, and I was a kid. You know what I mean? And and I was still in the hood. I was actually even living in my aunt's house. I was probably like 17, and 17 turning 18. I was living in my aunt's house. So we from the hood, and some white guy calls my aunt's phone, and she's like, "What the hell? Who is this?" She thinking like it's like a cop or something.
Yeah.
It's Brian Baez. What? And then I got on the phone, and then it was done.
How far was this before or after your concussion? That first concussion you had?
This was wow. I don't remember. This was maybe after, maybe before. I wouldn't. Right now, I don't remember.
Just curious. It was just out of curiosity.
So what happened? It was probably after the concussion.
Okay.
It was after the concussion. I'm trying to remember the dates because it was Ring of Honor. So I was probably. Anyway, I went. They called and he said that we want to offer you a contract. We would need you to move to LA. And I was a young kid, and what I at the time I didn't want to tell him that I had to turn myself in, right? Because I had a case. I had to do like 9 months or something. So I didn't want to tell them that. So I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm living with my aunt, and I gave them like some excuse I just don't remember right now. But I know that I didn't tell them that I had to turn myself in.
Yeah.
So I had to, like, a week later, I went and I turned myself in, and that was a wrap. I stopped wrestling from there, and kept dabbling back and forth, and then completely stopped like in 2003 or something, 2004. I stopped. I moved to South Beach, just getting in trouble, going back and forth, and just basically doing things I'm not supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And then through the grace of God, when I was like doing really bad, God changed my life. You know what I'm saying? And God came in my life, and He showed me a vision. And one day, people will be able to hear my testimony, how I wasn't thinking about wrestling, and I didn't wrestle in years, and then God showed me a vision of wrestling, and I told myself I would never come back to New York. I moved back to New York. Somebody gave me a free wrestling ring, and we're here right now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? 8 years later, we're about to be the biggest company.
History.
Exactly. So I just, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? But, God is opening doors to take this to a different level, because He has plans. You know what I mean? So I always give Him the glory. You know what I mean? Because this is all His.
And that's where the House of Glory name comes from.
Absolutely.
Dope.
We're not perfect, you know what I mean? But we learning. You know what I'm saying? We all learning. It's a learning process. So
it's all about growth.
Exactly.
That is a great story, and makes you feel really good about seeing where your company, House of Glory, is going, and makes me want to support it even more.
No doubt. I appreciate that. Man. I appreciate that. And you guys is doing your thing, man. You know what I mean? Like
we were trying, man. We
just gotta keep going. It's a grind. Everything you do is a grind, and sometimes you sit there and be like, damn, is this really working? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I wasting my time? You're never wasting your time, because you're living your dream right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a passion. It's a passion.
Exactly.
I mean, it's funny because we've done a couple other things. Like I've done a lot of things actually in the past. And when I created Yep, I Like Wrestling, and then I founded the group with my boy Kervin. I think you met Kervin a couple of times.
Okay.
And then we built the following from moderating the groups, and it's worked out.
Yeah.
And through the group, I made friends with different people, like Teddy, like my homegirl Tara, who's also on the podcast, and Roger and Kevin, and a whole lot of other people. And it's been a slow thing where it's like, yo, you know what? This is fun. Let's add to this. You know what? That's kind of cool. That works. Let's add to that.
Yeah.
And then now, 9 months later, after starting this podcast in January, we're kind of like, yo, this is fun. Let's add to that. Yeah. So it's been a constant snowball effect, but a good snowball. Because, you always hear, when you hear snowball effect, it's usually a negative turn, like, oh my God, it got worse and worse.
Yeah.
With this, it's getting better and better, because it truly is a passion project.
Yeah.
Same way.
It took a long time for us, man.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, I want to be completely honest, man. Like, when I left the streets, and I was in a situation, right? So, I had to basically I had to choose what I wanted to do, right? So with the money a little money I had saved up, I just put into the wrestling. You know what I mean? Somebody gave me a free wrestling ring, and when we opened up the rent was $1,500. So we was renting a spot in the boxing gym, and we only had like 2 students. Rent is $1,500. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a grind, man. My wife was paying rent for a long time. Like, my rent in the crib, in the house, she was paying the rent. I couldn't even pay the rent with her, because my focus was on this. So it was a struggle. You know what I mean? Because, sometimes they get tired of that. Like, I can't pay all the rent, nigga, for a long time. You know what I mean? And she just started having doubt. Like, you wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? She used to be like, yo, you wasting your time. You had to get this money, and things doesn't work like that. You have to go to college and stuff like that. It's just you can't, like, to be able to be successful.
There's a lot of misconceptions about how to be successful.
But she doesn't know better. You know what I mean? She's like, life is not like that. She used to tell me, life is not like that. You're just not gonna be big, right? And I understood, because everything was on her. She was paying the bills, and after a while, I get stressful. You know what I mean? And I was just determined, like, this is all I have. It's this or the streets. And I'm not going back there. So it's just like, I have to stay on this. You know what I'm saying? So one day she came to a wrestling show, and she felt it. She looked at it. It was in the boxing spot. She looked around and said, nah. She came, and when we went home, she said, all this time I didn't see it. Tonight I seen it. You have something special going on. It's about to be on. And then we're here now. You know what I'm saying? And we came from the gutter. Like, I come from from the streets for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? People say that, you know what I mean, try to glorify that. I'm definitely not glorifying that, you know what I mean? Because I'm sitting here and tell you I'm a man. I believe in God, and God does everything for me. But I come from nothing. I come from rats in my house and my family standing in front of the stove with the stove on, with the fire, with all our clothes on because we had no heat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't have everything what I need, or I'm not the richest man in the world, but God is blessing me little by little. You know what I'm saying? And He has plans, man. That's the only thing I could look forward to. You know what I mean? God's plans, because the way this world is right now, it was not like this years ago. You know what I'm saying? The world is changing. You know what I'm saying? And it's changing, and it's not good, yo. I feel like things are gonna get really bad in this world, and America is not gonna be the same in a couple of years. I may sound crazy, you know what I mean, but I could tell you that the way it's heading, things are not gonna be the same in a couple of years, man. Things are changing. Things are getting really bad, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we call ebbs and flows. Gets good, gets bad, it goes up and down. But thankfully, we've got something to entertain us during the bad times.
Yeah.
And that's wrestling. I think we could all sit here and say wrestling has entertained us, and now it's actually paying your bills now, sir.
Yes.
So best of luck to you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And I know you're bringing a lot of joy with House of Glory. I've heard nothing but good things from you,
Thank
so
you, I
you see
appreciate
perseverance is paying off. But you're not done yet. Keep it going. Keep up the good work, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate
and thank you for
that.
joining us. Sonny, my Uber's here. Take us home.
Uber? I thought you were gonna start taking a yellow cab.
No, God, no. Turbans everywhere. No, thank you, Sonny.
The views and opinions expressed by Teddy are his and do not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Yep, I Like Wrestling.
I didn't know that was the Uber. He keeps beeping the horn. He keeps beeping the horn.
So, thank you for listening to episode 44 of the Yep, I Like Wrestling podcast.
Dope.
It has been a fun time. Please make sure you check out House of Glory's upcoming show. It is Friday, October 5th at the NYC Arena at 91-12, 144th Place, Queens, New York, 11435. The name of the show is Extreme Warfare. House of Glory's website is hogwrestling.net. And they're going to be featuring Sami Callihan versus Bully Ray. And the card hasn't even been finalized yet. So it's going to be an amazing show. So make sure you check them out. And my name is Sonny Sofrito, and I was joined today by
the greatest general manager in Yep, I Like Wrestling history.
And I was also joined by
House of Glory co-owner Brian Excel.
And thank you for joining us, Brian.
No problem, man. I just want to tell all your people that are listening, man, to keep listening, keep supporting you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Like I became a fan. You know what I'm saying?
You,
and not just because I'm here, just because this guy right here that you got next to you is just such a character. Like this guy,
I'm everyone's favorite.
Yeah, this guy needs to have his own TV cartoon. His voice is like this guy. Somebody gonna pick this guy up. I'm telling you, man.
Actually, someone is picking me up. My Uber is taking me to a D train. Hurry up, Sonny.
All right, thanks you guys, man. God bless you, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, thanks a lot. Make sure you check us out on all podcast platforms. Search Yep, I Like Wrestling. Follow us on all social media at YPILW. And take care. Have a great week.
Yo, shout out to my boy James Santiago. He has Tumbuckle Tabloids. We're about to set something up real nice for everybody. Open up our own podcast and really take it to the next level.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to keep an eye on that, and we'll announce everybody up with details coming soon. And take it easy, everybody. Peace out. Bye. Suck on that, Tara.
She better hurry up and get back here.